Welcome everybody. I'm a music nerd here, and since the Super Bowl is only a couple weeks away, we do know that The Weeknd is going to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. I figured, what? Why don't we go back and revisit some of these old halftime shows? So I'm going to be making a tier list of the last 20 Super Bowl halftime show performances, ranking them from worst to best. And yeah, it's going to be fun revisiting some of these classic moments in music history. But yeah, if you enjoy the content of this channel and you want to show this your support, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you're a return subscriber, hit the notification bell to be alerted for new content. So let's get into it. First one, 2001, we had Aerosmith, Britney Spears, NSYNC, and Nelly. And I gotta tell you, I remember this halftime show like it was yesterday. Really having all these guys at their peaks of, Nelly was one of the biggest hip hop stars in the world. Britney Spears was arguably the biggest pop star in the world. NSYNC was the biggest boy band in the world. And Aerosmith, who in any other year might have seemed out of touch with these guys, was getting like a commercial resurgence. I remember that song Jaded came back and it was on the radio all the fucking time, and that video was on MTV all the time. So Aerosmith was in touch with the younger MTV audience, and so it all kind of clicked in some like weird, big bang. And I gotta tell you, this performance is solid. This is like brings back so much nostalgia. When Britney and Justin were like a power couple, Nelly with the half Ravens, half Giants jersey, Aerosmith and Britney Spears singing "Walk This Way." I mean, this was an electric, incredible performance. And I think also, if I remember correctly, Mary J. Blige was part of this too. So this is a great halftime show. Tons of nostalgia. Go back on YouTube, check this one out. I'm gonna put this in the A tier. Next one, 2002, U2. So this halftime show came just months after 9/11 happened, and U2, you got Bowner here with the American flag on his sleeves, and then with the memorial, 9/11 memorial in the background. It's definitely a tearjerker, and I feel like with U2, they captured this moment with grace. They were coming off All That You Can't Leave Behind. They were having a resurgence in their career. So really, you couldn't have picked a better band to capture this moment. Bono, he can't be annoying with the pathos and the long speeches, but here it felt right. It felt tasteful. It's not a fun halftime show, but it really was the right band for the moment. So yeah, I'm going to put this in the A tier. It's a solid halftime show. This next one, 2003, we have Shania Twain, No Doubt, and Sting. This one I barely remember, and it just kind of felt odd. I mean, Shania Twain's a country artist. No Doubt is a ska punk band. Yes, they're a pop punk band. Sting, with the Police, he was a pop punk band, but it's just Sting, and Sting is kind of like adult contemporary. So like, I didn't see the connection here. I mean, at least with Aerosmith and Nelly and Britney Spears and NSYNC, like they were all in the pop sphere, But here, it just didn't connect. And I guess No Doubt and Sting do share some commonalities. But Shania Twain wasn't even in the performance at the end. It just kind of felt like a mishmash. It's okay, but not memorable. I'm gonna put it in the C tier. All right, 2004. We got P Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, Jessica Simpson, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake. Oh my God, what a party here! We all know why I remember this halftime show. It was the glorious rendition of Kid Rock "Ba De Wa Ba." Man, just hits me in the feels. But seriously, we all know why this halftime show is memorable. It's the nipples. Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Nipple Gate. Oh man, people got out of control with this one. The FCC, the parents, the children watching. I remember watching this as a kid. seeing Janet's nipple with the star thing on it. Oh my God, America lost their freaking minds. Now, as for the show itself, it's okay. To be honest with you, I forgot who else performed the show other than Janet and Justin because the moment was so big. That's all everybody talked about for weeks. And in a sense, I'm not pointing any fingers, but Janet Jackson's career never was quite the same. This was really the first time that she received like a lot of backlash, and since then she really has kind of stayed out of the public eye. I mean, she still makes music, but she never was the same after this. But as for the show itself, it's okay. Put it in the C tier. 2005, we had Paul McCartney, and man, you want to talk about a 180. We go from showing nipples to and we're having like newer, younger acts performing pop songs that we all remember, and now we have a 6-year-old British white guy sitting on a piano, performing his old hits. And for me, listen, I get it. Paul McCartney, he's a legend. He's a Beatle. I get it, but this was not the right move to have after that moment. He did what he usually does, but in terms of like livening up the crowd, I feel like Paul McCartney Super Bowl doesn't really mix. I don't go to Paul McCartney to rile myself up for a football game. I just don't. Yeah, Paul tried. And the wide shots. I mean, man, they were so concerned that what did they think Paul McCartney was going to show his like penis? I mean, what the hell was all the wide shots? So, yeah, I'm gonna put it in the C tier. It's okay. And then continuing the trend of old white British guys from the '60s performing the greatest hits, Rolling Stones, 2006. Now listen, love the Rolling Stones. Love what they contributed to music, but yeah, this was not one of their finer moments. Mick Jagger looked like a skeleton. I'll give him a shout out. I did like when he said could have performed the Super Bowl one. That was pretty funny. But other than that, just felt out of touch with the moment. So I'm gonna put Rolling Stone. I'll be D tier. Just not that memorable to me. Alright, 2007, Prince. A lot of people have said that this is the greatest Super Bowl halftime show of all time. Me as a big Prince fan, I can't dispute that. It's probably my favorite as well. Not too much to be said that hasn't already been said. He killed it. The man made the sky rain when he played Purple Rain. It's Prince. what do you want me to do? It's an amazing performance. If you never checked this one out, please go check this halftime show out. This is an incredible performance. Going to put this in the S tier. 2008, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So when I came into this halftime show, I'm like, okay, it's not an artist that I'm too familiar with, but Tom Petty, rest in peace, legendary rock performer, tons of respect, and he stuck to his guns here. He kept it simple, none of this pyrotechnics, none of these like explosions and give you a halftime show. We're gonna get the crowd amped up. Like he did that to a point, but he kept it simple. He's like, hey, I'm just gonna give you these good songs that you all know about and just keep it moving. And so for that, I think it was, for what it was, I think it was a refreshing simplicity to the halftime show. So I'm going to put it in the B tier. Bruce Springsteen, 2009. And look, it's Bruce Springsteen. I mean, he's always going to give a great live show. He's one of the greatest live performers in history. The guy is like 60 years old and he runs around like a 20-year-old. It's amazing. Another guy who's like, hey, I'm just going to stick to my guns, do what I know best, gonna keep the crowd amped up, gonna do my speeches every now and then. So this is like pure Bruce. I think this was another pretty solid performance, so I'm gonna put this in the B tier. 2010, The Who, and they were going so well. 3 in a row. They were doing well, and then they went back to the old British white guy band, and they went with The Who, and yeah, admittedly, I'm not a huge fan of The Who, but I do know their famous songs. It just felt like AARP, over here. It just felt like Life Alert. Roger Daltrey, who was one of the best rock frontmen of all time, great, like, powerful vocal singer. Just, you felt him straining, and Pete Townsend just couldn't do the same things he couldn't do. It really felt like old guys at the club here, and I can imagine anybody under the age of 30 really, like, paid attention to this performance. Like, oh man, I got see The Who, and I just remember just making some popcorn and using the bathroom. I didn't really care much for this performance. Not one of The Who's finer moments. I'm gonna put this in the D tier. 2011, Black Eyed Peas with Slash. This was kind of abysmal. Right after Christina Aguilera forgets the national anthem, so we know we're off to a good start. I understand picking them. They were hot at the moment. Had some of the biggest songs in the 21st century. I Got a Feeling, all that stuff. So we all know they were gonna play those big hits. But man, this was way overdone. Pyrotechnics were shitty. The soundboard was shitty. Slash Khan was phoning it in with the Sweet Child of Mine. I mean, just, it didn't even mix with. Black Eyed Peas is like a pop, hip hop group. I mean, Slash coming in, doing guitar for what? I mean, I love Slash, but he didn't fit, and I just remember it being a big mess. Kind of a career ender, and a bad foreshadowing for their career. This one was a mess. Gonna put this in the F tier. 2012, we got Madonna featuring MIA, CeeLo Green, LMFAO. Man, talk about a blast from the past. Whatever happened to those guys? Listen, Madonna, she tried, to fit in with the young guns. I love MIA, but she didn't fit here. CeeLo Green, with this ridiculous, he wears like these ridiculous costumes, and he didn't fit here as well either. Madonna, I really don't know what she was trying to go for here with all these different costumes and bitch on Madonna. Oh yeah, Nicki Minaj shows up for her appearance because she was on the Madonna song for like a brief minute. As far as the actual show, they attempted, but it wasn't a snooze fest. It was kind of like an interesting mess. It was like, what can go wrong here? Not as bad as the Black Eyed Peas one, but not one that's going to be memorable for Madonna's career. 2013, Beyonce. Shout out to her. Just, killing it. Causing the blackout at the Superdome. Listen, the Super Bowls have blackouts. Come on. Super Bowls don't have blackouts. Destiny's Child reunion coming in. They killed it. Really can't say anything bad about this performance. Really was the beginning of Beyonce becoming a legendary performer. So she killed it. One of the best halftime shows ever, really. So I'm going to put it in the S tier. 2014, Bruno Mars and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Was originally going to be Bruno Mars, and I think that they probably should have waited a couple of years before having. I think Bruno Mars could carry it on his own. I think Red Hot Chili Peppers could carry a halftime show on their own. I don't really see why they had to, mix. Yes, Bruno Mars, Red Hot Chili Peppers, they do funk music, but it could have been better. They both have songs that I love, and you knew it was gonna be. It couldn't be horrible, it was going to be decent or, just taking me by surprise about how good it was. But for what it was okay. I'm going to put it in the C tier. 2015, Katy Perry with special guests Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott. And yes, I gave Katy Perry a hard time on this channel many times. And but I'm gonna say that Katy Perry had a great show. She did what she did best, and entertain the crowd, playing a little bit of everything in her catalog. The big songs, Firework, Roar, all those songs. But shout out to Left Shark. That was the true MVP of this halftime show. When Missy Elliott came out, I felt like I was 7 years old again, and just like becoming a kid and just seeing Missy Elliott just kill it. Really glad that people got to see Missy Elliott perform at this Super Bowl halftime show, just proving what a legend she is in her own right. So I quite enjoyed this show. Lenny Kravitz, he did his thing, with the guitar. He didn't have to be there, but he didn't hurt the show. So I'm gonna put this, B tier. It's a B plus show. 2016, we had Coldplay with Beyonce and Bruno Mars. Really, in my honest opinion, Coldplay, they could have stayed at home. Really, Beyonce, Bruno Mars, they stole the show. Bruno Mars coming off of Uptown Funk. I mean, that song was made to be performed at a Super Bowl halftime. And Beyonce, once again, with the Formation, another song that was made to be performed at the Super Bowl halftime. But Coldplay, they just put me to sleep. I mean, listen, guys, I'm not the biggest Coldplay fan. And Beyonce and Bruno tried to say this, but, Coldplay just felt like a fish out of water. They really didn't need to be there. And at the end, when they're all performing Uptown Funk, it just felt like very awkward. It's like, kind of like, we have these two kids performing at TikTok, and then all of a sudden, like, your grandma comes in to perform the dance with you. It's like, yeah, you'll let it slide because it's your grandma, but it still looks awkward. If it was just Beyonce and Bruno Mars, I would have put it higher, but because Coldplay came in there for the first half of the show and just kind of put me to sleep, I'm gonna put it in the C tier. 2017, Lady Gaga. Really. When we talk about the short list of like halftime show performers, Lady Gaga is the top of that list. And, she was gonna do all this in terms of like pumping up the crowd and like giving us a visually pleasing show. She did that. And, I think that this is a very underrated halftime show performance. I'm not the biggest Lady Gaga fan, but, she is a born performer, playing songs that, can tug at the heartstrings, but also pump the crowd up. So she gave a great balance of that. So I think that this was a show that if you're a Lady Gaga fan, you really appreciated. And if you aren't a Lady Gaga fan, you can kind of see why Lady Gaga is really good at performing. So she got respect from me out of that aspect. So I'm going to put it in the B tier. Oh man. 2018, Justin Timberlake. As a Justin Timberlake fan, I gotta say this was very disappointing. Came out with the whole rollout of the Man of the Woods, and that album ended up kind of flopping. I did a video on that on this channel. You could check it out. The song Filthy came out, and that kind of flopped. In this halftime show, people were expecting, oh man, he's gonna be like when Justin Timberlake performed at the VMAs, and he was gonna be like energetic, and it was gonna be great. It's gonna be in Minnesota. He's gonna right his wrongs for what he did last time with the halftime show with the Nipple Gate, and it just felt very blah, very underwhelming. I mean, first of all, what the hell is he wearing? It looks like a MacBook screensaver. I mean, what the hell is this? And him performing Prince songs and with the Prince thing, it especially after you make fun of Prince when he was alive for being short, again, the whole thing just very, very underwhelming. The least he could have done is brought Janet back on and do a duet and really right his wrongs there, but he couldn't even do that. And performing this, it kind of felt like he was out of breath. And it's like, didn't really feel like he was into it. It didn't really feel like he wanted to be there and perform this show. In retrospect, he probably should have stayed at home. Gonna put it in the D tier. Just not good. 2019, Maroon 5 featuring Travis Scott, Big Boy. Another halftime show that was very blah. Even Travis Scott, coming on to here, doing Sicko Mode. I feel like Travis was only there for like 30 seconds, even though he performed, a couple of songs. And then Big Boy coming on there. We get it. It was at Atlanta, but it just kind of felt like an afterthought. If anybody was going to perform at the show, I felt that it should have been Usher. Give me like an Atlanta guy, CeeLo Green, Outkast, for the love of God, just Ludacris, T.I., Migos. I mean, Jesus. I mean, Maroon 5. I mean, what the hell were they thinking? So yeah, it was a very underwhelming performance. Big Boy did his thing. Travis Scott did what he could with the limited amount of time that he had, but Maroon 5, sorry, just didn't do anything for me. So I'm going to put this in the D tier. And last but not least, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, J Balvin, Bad Bunny. So I like that they, it's in Miami. Miami, as huge Hispanic city. Latin music is very popular over there. We're going to have all the popular Latin pop artists come on here and do a show. I mean, I'm not the biggest Jennifer Lopez fan. I don't bump her music like that, but, she did what she could. Shakira, I think, kind of stole the show a little bit. Don't at me. J Balvin, Bad Bunny did their thing. I mean, it was okay. I mean, didn't set the world on fire. But in terms of like, if you're a fan of these guys, if you're a fan of Jennifer Lopez playing her songs, it worked. So, I'm gonna put it in the B minus tier. It was all right, whatever. I'll put it there. So that's my tier list of the Super Bowl halftime shows the past 20 years. Good luck to The Weeknd. Hope he puts on a memorable performance. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. What are some of your favorite Super Bowl halftime shows? Even the ones that I even mentioned here, even way back. I know Michael Jackson had an amazing halftime show, but obviously due to the limits of this tier list, I couldn't put him on here. But tell me if halftime shows that you loved, that you hated. Let me know in the comment section down below. YouTube recommends these two videos to check out. This one, I got another video coming up. You guys seem to be liking the Hip Hop Connections videos. I did one with Steely Dan with Nirvana. And so I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to cover another rock star. Stay tuned for that. And as always, till next time, peace.